This is the Rachel S. Daphne. She's was built on Hornby Island. She's a hand-cooked schooner. The design originated in Nova Scotia. It was built in the late 70s, but the design dates from the 1880s.
There's a friendly group. It's so nice to see boaters always waving. It doesn't matter who's on the other boat.
The pipe's a great touch, too.
It is very nice. Lots of music in the boat festival. And here's the Kennet 2.
Kennet 2 is an absolutely superb restoration. Peter Sargent has done just a spectacular job on the boat. She's extremely attractive in the first instance, but the work that he's done on her and the condition he keeps her in is just incredible.
One of the interesting stories about the whole Classic Boat Festival is how he came upon the boat. And part of the fun of classic boats is finding them.
Eight years ago, we came in from sailing on a Sunday afternoon, and there on the docks was an old wooden boat. I looked at it, talked to the owner the next day, asked him what he was doing. He said, moving my stuff off. I've been on fishery patrol for 10 years, I'm going to retire. I said, what are you going to do with the boat? He said, I'm going to sell it next year. I said, show it to me. He showed it to me, and 3 days later, I owned it.
The Kennet 2, another story of making a silk purse out of a sowsy, or it seems to be a familiar tale, here at the Victoria Classic Boat Festival.
There's Doxy, Daphne, a Spitzgatter built in Scandinavia and brought out with 5 others just after the war. They're 26 feet long. Beautifully kept boat.
And the couple who owned Doxy were charming. Earlier, I went on board.
I pulled out a bulkhead, and on the back of a piece of plywood was written a man's name, address, and the date, 1937-38, in Copenhagen. And my wife is Danish, and we went to Denmark this Christmas to visit relatives. And so we looked in the Copenhagen phone directory, looked up this name, and still at the same address, 13 Milanovi, was the same name. And sure enough, it was the same family. The builder is 84 years old. He's still alive. My wife talked to him by phone, and we've since exchanged letters and photographs, and he seems to be as delighted as we are with this discovery.
I told him that Doxy got the first prize at Expo as the best rebuilt boat last year. And of course he was just delighted, absolutely delighted. And his first question to me was whether or not the boat still had the lead keel. And I could tell him that it did. And he was delighted to hear that because, as you know, during the war, Hitler took most of the lead away from the boats to make bullets. And this boat survived and still has its lead keel. That was the first time he heard of the boat again. And he was, since he sold the boat in 1941. And he was just delighted to see that the boat was alive and well.
Doxy has another unique feature of a different vein.
I think this is the only boat in existence that has a beer can for a masthead telltale. I'm hoping Foster's Beer notices it.